Today we'll be showing you really briefly how to cut SIM card, a regular sized SIM card into a Nano SIM. Okay, so as you can see, there's quite a big of a difference in size if you put them one next to each other, as you can see here. So we have to take pretty much the whole plastic part of the SIM card and just trim it down until we just get the chip part. And even the chip, sometimes you have to cut off a little bit. Okay, so there are some older SIM cards that have a bigger chip. I think those cannot be cut off into a Nano SIM. But if you have a regular 3G SIM, you should have a regular size and a smaller size, which should be cuttable, which is, I think it's 128K SIM cards that come with a chip this size. Okay, so my video is a little different because I will show you how to do this cutting procedure without needing any rules or any special tools, just regular stuff that you have at your house. Okay, so what I'm gonna need from you is, number one, we need scissors. Okay, whatever scissors they will do, they just have to be a little sharp because this is a little thick. This material is a little plastic, and you need to have a little thick. So you have to have sharp scissors for this. Second, we need a nail file. Okay, usually women use this to file their nails pretty much, and you can find them at any pharmacy. Most people have at least one in their households. Even nail clippers, they bring one of these things. I don't think it'll be as effective as this, but it'll work. It'll do the trick. And you need a ruler, which can be another Nano SIM. Usually most iPhone 5s or all iPhone 5s, they bring one SIM card as a ruler from the carrier. If you bought this phone from someone else and they didn't include it, you can pretty much just cut it off and just keep going down, and you have the SIM card tray that comes in the phone. What we're going to do, in case you don't have a Nano SIM that you can compare the one you're cutting off to, what we can do is you can just cut down and just try until you actually get it to fit into the Nano SIM tray card. Okay, so here it is. We'll have to cut it off to make this SIM card here. You have to make it fit in there. Okay, so we can do that. Okay, so first up, we're going to use the scissors. You always have to know which one is the different corner. You see, when you have a SIM card, you have four corners, right? This one, that's different. It's a little different from these other three. So you always have to know the position of this corner. Even when you cut this part of the plastic off, you have to make sure you know which one it is, because the chip is positioned in a certain way and you need to keep it that way. So we'll start by cutting off. You always use the scissors, and you have to have the bottom part off so you know and you can see that you're not cutting the actual chip. Okay, always remember, you have to know where this corner is located, no matter if you take off the plastic. Okay, if you don't keep your mind put into this, you might get it lost, and then you don't know what position it goes on. So let's begin. So you have to be really careful, especially with the scissors. I'm going to explain this to you, but you have to know, beware, this thing can damage your SIM card, and I am not to be held responsible for this. So you do this at your own risk. Okay? Making that clear, we can continue with a little tutorial. So we go and we cut it off. Okay? Start by taking off the sides. Remember, this is the corner. Keep it in mind. Took off a little piece there. This is the corner. Let me just take out a piece of plastic in this position so that I remember. And then we just keep going down until we just keep the chip part. Okay. Let's just keep going. Got it there. Remember, be careful when cutting the SIM card, especially the chip. With the scissors, the chip can get damaged, and that has happened to me before. Okay, so be really careful. When you're using the nail file, it's a little easier. It doesn't get damaged that easy. But there's something about the scissors. They can mess it up. So, okay. So we're a little far away still, but eventually we'll get to that point. Okay, so we have to make it a little thinner. That's what we have our friend here for. So we just have to pretty much use the file to take off all the extra plastic. Make sure we keep the little metallic part. And even this, the part where the chip is at, you have to take off a part of it. And I was a little scared because I thought if I was getting into the metallic chip, I would damage the actual SIM card. But I've done about 5 or 6 of these things, and they really work good. I mean, I haven't damaged the first one yet. They all work. So let's see. It seems like they have some extra metal on these things that's not used. So we have to go down using the file. Just as I told you, remember, you have to keep in mind the little corner that's different. You have to keep it trimmed, and you have to know which one it is. Okay, if your nose is a little sensitive, you might get some smell of the plastic coming off with the file. So if you want to wear a little mask or something, like that, just go ahead and do it. Okay, we're getting down to a smaller part. We're getting there. Okay. Okay, so remember, I always make a little extra on this corner so that I recognize it and I know which one it is. Remember, there is a little difference in the thickness between a Nano SIM and a micro SIM or a regular SIM card. So you have to trim it down a little bit on the thickness. We'll show you how later on. So pretty close to the size. I think we're almost there, or I think we're there already. Put them next to each other. There are other micro SIM cards that are a little bigger on the chip part. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the actual SIM card tray, and we're gonna see if it fits. Once we make it fit, we can just trim down the top part and make it a little thinner. So still we need to cut down a little bit on the sides, so you can see. So we keep going down. Okay. 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 So I think it should fit now. Yeah, I think it does. A little smaller than I should have taken, than I should. But it should be fine, okay? Okay, so now we have to make the SIM card a little thinner. So for us to achieve that, we're gonna take the nail file. We're gonna just go like this on one side first. If you have something, you can lay it on and then do the whole thing at once. It's a little difficult because it'll be. And the SIM card will keep sliding off the surface you put it on. And you can actually scratch the surface where you trim it, where you use the lime on. You keep just going on it. Don't go too hard on the thickness, because you can actually get to the chip part and mess it up, okay? There's a little part that comes over the chip, and it's not that deep down, so I would recommend against going too deep on this. So let's put it See if it fits. Okay, remember, always the little corner. I always kept it marked, so I know from the big size, I always know which one was this corner that's different. So we're gonna put it in the SIM card tray and see what happens. Just clean it up a little bit. Don't want to get our phone dusty inside. Okay, so for us to test that the SIM is not damaged and that we did a good job, we have to actually test it. So for this, we're going to just put the SIM card we just got into the iPhone, and let's see what happens. Okay, so first off, you have to know if the SIM card is working okay, this no SIM card installed message will disappear. If the SIM card is broken and it was damaged in the process of cutting it down, you will see that this message will stay on. Okay, so SIM card we just cut is in there. Let me just put it in now. See what happens. Okay. It says no service. You know, it detected the SIM card. And since this iPhone is from Sprint and that SIM card is from AT&T, you should get the activation screen any second. Okay. So this way, you know, usually when your phone is unlocked, which is probably most cases of people watching this video, what will happen is you just put the SIM card in the phone and it will just start grabbing signal the second you put it in. And this is what you do, and the process will be the same if you're using a micro SIM and you're cutting it down to a Nano SIM. The difference between the two processes is that in the micro SIMs, you'll probably have to take a little bit more off the actual SIM card. And just to let you know, whenever you're doing this, don't get scared because you're taking off the actual metallic part in the SIM card. That's regular from the process. Just try to make it even on each side. Just try to take off as much as possible. Make it even. Don't take too much from a single side. That could damage. You have to make it like one side you take a little part, then again on the other side, and then you make it even. At the end of the day, they should fit fine, and I don't think it'll get damaged. Okay, just be careful with the scissors. Okay, if you like this video, you can always subscribe to my channel where I just put videos on iPhone stuff.